So the first project today will be these super cute and easy ornaments. First we're going to be punching out all the little flowers to then pin onto the styrofoam ball, and that is pretty much it. So you just repeat this process until the whole thing is covered, and you just keep pinning on the little shapes under the styrofoam ball. So I also made a light pink version of this, but I couldn't find pins that matched, so I painted them all myself so they would match the pink paper that I got. And this is obviously not something that you have to do, but that's just what I did for this specific one. It is super cheap and easy. The styrofoam balls I got from the Dollar Tree, and the paper was also under $1, and the pins are probably the most expensive part, but you can always use like a 50% off coupon at Joann's or Michael's for them. And then for the ribbon on top, what I do is just make a double knot first and tighten it into the loop size that I want, and then just tying a bow on top of that knot. Then I will just hot glue it onto the top of my ornament, and you can also do various different sizes and colors. You can also glue the loop and the bow on separately like I showed in this one. And now you have your very own super pretty girly Christmas ornaments. So this next one is also very simple. All you really need is pine cones and pink spray paint. I also use silver glitter spray, which is optional too. So I'm just spraying the whole pine cone, covering as much as I can, and also turning it around so I can spray from all the different angles, and then set it aside to dry. I did a second coat on all my pine cones because I wanted them to be a very pink color and to not really show through a whole bunch of brown. And then I also went ahead and sprayed glitter onto it as well, and sprinkled a little bit more loose glitter to make it a little extra sparkly. So that is all to these cute pink pine cones, and you can put them on display or also use them as place card holders on their side. So for this project you will need a sturdy piece of paper, some feathers or feather trim, hot glue, and whatever decorations you want to add. This is for the first smaller one I'm making, so I'm just going to wrap up the paper to the cone size that I want my tree to be. Next, you just start gluing your feathers on until you reach the top of the tree, and I'm kind of doing it in layers. So next I'm just going to glue my little bow on the top, and then I'm also going to kind of glue in place this white twisted ribbon around to kind of look like a garland. So the next one I'm doing is going to be a pink pearl feather tree, and I got a bigger piece of paper for this one because I wanted to make it a slightly bigger size than the other one. I would recommend matching the color of your feathers to the paper, but I just kind of got lazy and grabbed the first color paper that I found that matched the size that I needed. I also found it super duper hard to find a light pink feather from Michael's or Joann's or really any craft store, so I ended up finding these light pink feathers on Etsy, and the seller was super nice and sent me some to try out, but I'd recommend if you wanted to make a light pink feather tree, this is really the only place that I was able to find light pink feathers for a decent price. So now that all the feathers are glued on, I'm just going to start adding the pearls, thickest and smallest sizes at the top, and then I'm going to work my way down and slowly fade the pearls out to look like ornaments on the tree. So these were super cute, posh little Christmas decorations that are also super fun and easy to make, and also totally customizable to your decor. So I got these two little houses from Goodwill for $2 and $3. The one is a total mess, but first I'm just going to spray paint them all white so I can have a clean start. And then I'm going to go in and paint specific parts pink after. So like I'm going to paint the pink on the bricks on this house, and then this little deer on the side I'm also going to paint in a light brown. And also add a little bit of color to the trees as well. I also taped off the little text on this house because I thought it was cute and I didn't want to redo it. And then now I'm done with all the painting, so I'm gonna start adding the little embellishments and decorations to it, which is my favorite part for sure. So first I'm gonna add this little star to the tree, and then I'm also gonna glue on some lace trim of the house. Next, I painted some glue onto this part of the tree so I could sprinkle the glitter onto it. And then I'm going to also decorate the tree with little pearls and such. Now I'm just gluing on little bows on the top windows as well as one in the middle, but I'm also going to put a rose over that too because I couldn't decide on just one of the decorations. After adding trim to all the other edges, I decided to move the bows underneath the little windows so I could still see them. Then with my little pearls, I made a wreath on the door and also added a little pink pearl to the wreath on the other door. Now for the next house, I decided to paint the roof and the two towers of the house pink and also some of the accents. I also went over most of the house with more white paint because I wanted to brighten it a little. On to the decorating of this house, I decided to make all the snowy spots on this house glittery to make the snow stand out more. And then I am also going to add matching lace trim to this house so they look like they're a set. For this one, I'm going to use these cute like pink roses on the house that I got from eBay for so cheap. And I'm also going to add these little pearl garland type things as well as more trim. And next, the fun part, decorating the little trees. I decided to give them little pearl garlands to kind of match the pearl theme of the house. And I also added the little pearl garlands to the tree on the other side as well. These were definitely one of my favorite projects that I did, and I loved decorating them just how I wanted. So next up, we are going to be decorating this Nutcracker. I got this guy in the same run to Goodwill as the village houses, and he was $5. I also decided to start with a plain white base for him, so I taped up his hair to prepare for spray painting. Now that that is done, I'm going to have to hand paint his face back on how I want it. And if you don't want to do this, you can also just tape his face off, but I didn't like the original face that he had, so I just did my best to paint it back on how I wanted. His eyes were kind of predisposed to look scary, but I tried my best to make him look more friendly. I also changed his facial hair color from black to white because that works better with the theme I was going for. I also quickly painted on some pink accents on his suit before getting to the decorations. So next I'm just going to add some glitter to his helmet and his boots, and I'm going to use a couple different white glitters. Then I added little white pearls as buttons. The glitter ended up not being as white as I wanted, so I decided to put a coat of white spray paint over it as well as a little bit of that silver glitter spray, which ended up making it look just how I wanted. Next, I'm going to add some lace around his belt, cuffs, and on the top of his boots. And then I'm going to put a pearl trim on his helmet. Next, for the cutesy part, I'm going to add this little pink bow on his helmet, and then I'm also going to add some on his cuffs. And now my little shabby chic Nutcracker is all finished and ready to be displayed.